Today's episode of In the Trenches is brought to you by System 12 Guitar Method. Sign up today at ryanroxie.com.
In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie.
Hello. Welcome to another live stream episode of In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie. I am your host, Ryan Roxie. Hello, folks. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Look at the team that wasn't in the Super Bowl, but we had the Super Bowl this last week, folks. So, if you want to do some ball talk, we will do that real soon. But this is In the Trenches podcast. And today's guest, honestly, folks, our first, you say pianist? He's a pianist, but he's our first pianist in the trenches. And that doesn't really sound right. But I'm going to introduce you to him in just 1 second. But the first thing I go through the drill. The first thing you have to do, if you're listening to us on our audio podcast, which I'm very thankful that you are, that would be Apple or Spotify or Stitcher or any of your favorite audio ones. We want you to go over to the YouTube channel, and we want you to go to our Ryan Roxie official YouTube page and subscribe. I can never get that right. Just hit that subscribe button so I don't ever have to point at it again. All right. But you know what? Now that that's out of the way, we got the live chat. That's why you're here, because everybody's talking in the live chat. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming week in and week out to In the Trenches. This week is a very, very special one because the names that are associated with our guests today are huge. They're huge. Names like Carole King, Alice Cooper, Guns N' Roses, Chuck effing Berry. Chuck Berry, folks. There's going to be even more. You know it? Even more. But again, not as big as this guy's personality. All right? It's a pleasure to welcome our first keyboardist. I just look at him as a blues man, the coolest yo-cat that I know. Would you please welcome to In the Trenches, Mr. Teddy Zig-Zag Andreadis. Hey, Teddy.
Wow. That was quite the intro.
I know you were actually getting bored, huh?
That was like, retaining water, waiting for that intro to be over.
And that's not the longest one. I've really tried to taper them down lately. Well, you know why? Because I want people to I kind of want it to be like every podcast to be like that last show of the Sex Pistols in San Francisco. Like, ever get the feeling you've been cheated? Build it up, and then
that's the sample we need.
Yeah, that is the sample. We are going to talk about the sampler in just a little bit, folks. This is again one of those weeks where I get to talk to a guest that I have a pretty cool history with, a long history with. We've played in a bunch of different bands at this point together. Of course, one of the bands I left off was the band that we played together in a lot, which was Snake Pit /'s Snake Pit.
That's right.
And but Alice Cooper, we did our share of touring with that as well. And you were more than just a keyboard player, more than just a pianist, not more than just a sample player. You were just kind of like all around vibe man.
There's a lot of Ted everywhere.
Well, Teddy.
I can't fit into this shirt anymore.
Well, that wasn't the Golden Panda outfit, was it?
No.
Oh, right.
Oh my God. No, but it was the white fur coat.
Okay. But that wasn't a hand-me-down from Derek Sherinian, was it?
No. Eric Singer bought that for me.
Okay,
Chicago.
well, all right.
He goes, wear this on the encore. Listen, man, that thing's hot. It's too hot to wear. I bought it for you. Wear it.
Well, you take all your fashion advice from Eric Singer. That's good.
It's good to see you, Ryan. Wow, it's really great to see you. And I'm really proud of you. You got a really cool thing going here, man, with your podcast.
Thank you, man.
So that's really
great. I have to thank F me right now, Vic. You didn't remind me. I didn't. Hold on. I got to start recording for the audio podcast.
Here we go.
I get so excited. Now that means the first 5 minutes I'm going to have to take from the video broadcast and put it onto the audio. It's okay. It all works out. It's just technical BS. But you know what?
It's part for the course. It's okay. Yeah.
it's not like we have a big team. We have this team called the RGA, and there's about 5 or 6 of us, men and women, and of course everybody that's in the chat right now. You're part of that team that make this show what it is, and we are trying to build up. So thank you for acknowledging that, Teddy. But it's the guests that we get on, it's the stories they tell, and it's the chat of our people that listen and support us that week in and week out. That's why it's growing and growing. So we thank you for that. That's cool.
Yeah, it looks great. Your studio is unbelievable back there.
All smoke and
the
yours
lighting is
great. Yours is real.
That's real, and that's a friggin' mess. Let me tell you. Vic asked me yesterday, "Hey, can you find me that picture?" And it was down underneath there. I had to get on my hands and knees and find it. I couldn't. So it's
man,
but
you know what?
Changed.
That's just part of your house, folks. Because I've been one of the very few that I let a lot of people in your house, but I've been able to store stuff over there over the years. I think when we moved, there's maybe a couple things still of that are just stored there. But I think that's my book actually. I want it back.
I'm sure there's something in this room that belongs to you. And this is my office. I can't even get into the garage.
Well, what do you like to be addressed as? Do you want me to call you Zig-Zag, Teddy?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, Teddy Zig-Zag.
Okay.
Master.
But on you have all 3 of your names: Teddy, Zig-Zag, Andreadis. Right? And what is and that comes from Greek descent.
Right.
But you're not from the actual. You weren't born in Greece.
Born in New Jersey.
Born on an island.
Born in New Jersey, but both my parents are from the islands. From Corfu and Samos.
There it is. So our Greek fans that are listening right now, this is where we kick off the entire story.
Now, do I need to play? That's right. It's the real deal right there.
We've changed the intro theme to In the Trenches to this now. Now, is that what instrument is that? Is that
a bouzouki? It's called a bouzouki. Okay. It's a bouzouki.
And that usually goes well with like a shot of ouzo. What goes well in breaking a plate, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. This is the this is the instrument that well, okay, it's too early, but anyway.
We talked about it right now because, we said it was a little bit early to start the podcast if you're a guest on the West Coast, and I do apologize for all of our talented guests to come on but we want to get the whole world. We are the world. We want to get Europe. We want to get the States.
You're an international star, international pop star. So that was for the Greek. That was for the Greek contingency. Over there.
There you go. And we do have Greek listeners. We have Italy, we have Greece, we have in fact, this is where the whole story starts because our first segment of the podcast is let's go back to get forward. What do you think? How you like that?
Oh boy.
That was Gilby Clark's. Cool, man. That's Gilby Clark's Harley Davidson.
Is it really?
Yeah, we sampled it. No, we didn't.
Cool. I saw Gilby's interview. It was good.
White women at?
Well, thank you. I'm
not going to be ignored.
Okay, so hold on.
You got them all, man.
Random samples.
You got them all.
You might be hearing random samples all through this because this is a tribute to Teddy Zig-Zag. Because back in the day when we played in a band called Glam Nation and all throughout Alice Cooper, had this contraption called a Dr. Sample, right? You were the king of Dr. the sampler.
You know what? There's a photo. I gave it to Frederica. I gave her my Alice Cooper stage rig photo.
Okay.
So if she had it, you could see the whole with the samplers and everything. Remember, I had that drawer that pulled out and it had the 3 samplers on it, and it had the babies cry. I had the thunder, all the sound effects that Alice is still using. Had a
what she can do. What she can do is she can mail it over to Vic while we're doing this because she's in the. I hope she's in the chat. She
think-
can mail
I
it
think
over to
I-
Vic, and Vic
yeah.
can put it up. And Vic's shaking his head like, "What the hell are you doing to me?"
My friend, you know what? I think it might have been my fault because I sent her that stuff, and I should have CC'd Vic because he didn't get some of those photos.
CC.
I
Always
didn't know.
CC,
I don't know.
buddy.
I don't know these things, you know.
All right.
And
That's
but
okay,
yeah.
man. It's okay. You
It's
know
all
what?
right.
What you do know? You know the keyboards. You know the piano. You know the keys. You know.
I know
And,
that stuff is.
I do like going back to get forward, but even though it's such a topical week because we were
All right.
both just talking about the Super Bowl right beforehand, which was like amazing. That it was an
Yeah.
amazing game, folks. And Teddy was saying that he watched it. Did you? You didn't go to a party. You just watched it by yourself, or did you watch it with
You
your
know what?
wife?
How lonely my life is. Lisa doesn't care about football, so I sat on the couch by myself with 2 pieces of toast and a beer.
Just the visual of that, you know.
Yeah, it's
Just
like,
so you know, Teddy is married to Lisa Goich. She's a personality
Lisa!
in herself. Yeah, Lisa Goich.
come here, Lisa.
She's an author. She's wrote The Breakup Diary, Virtual Bookworm, 14 Days. So she's got her own thing going on, and
Come here,
she's no
real quick.
stranger. She's no stranger to podcast. You know,
Come on,
she's
just
done a
stick your
few
head
of her
in.
own
He's
broadcasts.
just doing an
herself.
interview. Just stick your head in. She's right here.
Okay, we just want to say
Hurry
hello,
up.
Lisa.
Just stick your head
Everyone in the chat, say hello to Lisa right now. Yeah, yeah. You get your full screen if you want to go. There she is. Hello, Lisa. Everyone, go buy Lisa's book. Which one should they buy? Should they buy the Breakup Diary, or
should they buy the Breakup Diary or
Virtual Bookworm?
what's to her website.
I wonder, a guided grief journal.
Oh, a guided grief journal
March 30th.
coming out March 30th.
There you go. Vic, can you put that banner up for her? No, you can't. Okay. We asked Vic to do all these impossible tasks on the cuff.
He's he's so great. I told you earlier that we did a sound check yesterday, and that sound check lasted an hour and a half.
Is that
hour
great?
and a half. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
No. You insulted him a little bit. You got a little out of order yourself.
So
I wish I would have known you were going to do this because I would have brought mine in. We could have gone.
It would have been dueling samplers. Okay, folks. If you need to know the story behind the dueling sample and the reason why, is because because Teddy, our guest, you started out. You didn't start out with the sampler, but you kind of evolved into it. And during our time, whether it was Glam Nation, Alice Cooper, and even some Snake Pit shows, and definitely the Screaming Cocktail Hour, which was your night, your gig at the Baked Potato in lovely North Hollywood, California. That was, I mean, the sampler almost ended up being an integral part of the show.
Yeah. It was like the first of its kind. You know, that sampler was, kind of a very early sampler, but we started using it in Alice's band. I mean, and
to this day, I think there's nothing. It hasn't evolved that much. I think it might be, Vic, if you can get a picture of the Doctor sample, I think it was called. It was made by Boss.
Boss, right? That's right. Yeah, it's a little black box, ran on batteries. And remember, I used when we would go to foreign countries, I would get like the janitor to come up on stage when the lights were down. I would go, I want you to say in German, here's Alice Cooper. In German, and I would record their voices, and I would every once in a while throw that in, and he would do. I would get it. It was fun.
Well,
it was.
You know what?
And then sometimes, remember the times when I would hit a sample and it'd be the wrong sample, and Alice would look over at me like,
"Well,
what the
it's
hell's
just like
that?"
hitting a wrong note."
Yeah,
it's like hitting a bad note. It's going to happen.
The stage was too dark. I couldn't see the buttons.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
You had that one too.
They're the best. That's great. How many do you have
on this sampler?
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I loaded up the White Women Blazing Saddles for you, that was the one I remember you hitting a lot of times.
That's the one that people still to this day that have been to the Baked Potato will come up and meet. Hey man, where are all the white women at? They'll say
I know You've played on Carole King records. You've jammed. You've toured with Guns N' Roses. You've toured with Alice Cooper. You play with Billy Bob Thornton. And they go, where the White Women Hat sample?
Yeah.
Where's that? Did you
How come
find
don't
it, Vic?
use that
Was that
anymore?
it?
No, that's
that the one?
that's the later version.
Oh, okay. That's a high tech version.
That's the high tech version. I have one of those also in a box somewhere.
I don't know why my Wi-Fi is freaking tonight, but hopefully, Vic, shake your head yes or no. The Wi-Fi is all good with you. It's all good over here. Okay. You know what? My Sweden Wi-Fi. I got to talk to my my landlord at the building because you seem to be freezing sometimes, and it seems to be locking up a little bit. I might have to sort of work on that a little bit. But let's talk about Jersey. Let's talk a little bit now about New Jersey. No, you sound good. You sound good. And there you are. That's when you obviously first started, playing gigs. And
look at
folks,
those legs.
If you weren't watching on the, look at those legs. And this was in Jersey. But what I was told is that you were given an accordion at a very young age, and you started to this day. You still play accordion, but you did. Is that what you started on, accordion?
That was accordion was my first instrument, and actually I still play it. I used it on the last Walter Trout video we did back in March. We did a video for one of the songs off his new record that we just recorded last year, called Heartland, and I played accordion in it. We were two buskers. There he is. Really great
that album. Is that one of the newest albums that you're on? Because I mean, I can't even list all the names of the artists that you've played with. It's too long because I'm trying. It doesn't fit on the marquee the names that you're associated with. So I go for the Blockbusters. I go for the Carole King,
right?
Chuck Berry. I mean, I had no idea that you also played with Bo Diddley.
Yeah. I tuned that guitar, the box guitar.
Yeah.
I tuned it because it's just they don't do that. They don't come to the gig with their own techs. So same with Chuck Berry. He just showed up, and they had two band masters on each side of the stage, full band masters, and that Attitude 335. Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, Teddy, that there's a rumor about Chuck Berry that he fines you if you make a mistake, right? Wasn't it like $50 or something like that if you made a mistake?
Well,
now was that true? Is that urban legend? Or we might actually be going, never let the truth get in the way of a good story beforehand. Is that fact or fiction? What is the deal with
I don't
Chuck
know that
Berry and
specific
his
story,
mistakes?
but I can tell you that when he didn't rehearse with us, this was in Palm Springs, and the backup band was, I don't even know who the backup, it was just a bunch of guys, but he showed up, came to the sound check right from his car. Just drove from LA, or wherever he's coming from, right from his car onto the stage, and he says, okay, puts that guitar on, and of course it's not quite in tune, and he says, okay, when I lift my right leg, that means I want you to stop. And then if I do this with my left leg, that means we keep going. And that was it. And then on we were. So you had to watch him all constantly for cues. Unbelievable.
Well, then must have been easy. It must have been easy going to the Alice Cooper gig because you always have to watch Alice Cooper as well for his sort of cues, right?
What time is it, Ted? What time is it? It's time to rock.
That's one of your favorite. That's one of your favorite famous lines that you said, because Alice Cooper did lean over. Now, how did that happen? Like how did that line come about?
He gave us watches. Remember, he would give us watches. I still have those watches, by the way. I still have the Rolex that he gave. I was wearing the Rolex, and he turned around and remember where he used to toss the cane, and I would catch the cane, or I would toss it to him, and he would he turned to me and he said, I don't know if he mentioned my name. He looked at me, goes, "What time is it?" And I go, "It's time to rock." And Brian Nelson is kind of peeks his head out from behind the curtain. He goes, Like,
Something tells me he would be doing a lot of that in the last couple of years.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was one of those moments. So I was like, I didn't know you're not supposed to talk. I didn't. Nobody talks at an Alice Cooper concert. I didn't know that.
Not even Alice.
Yeah.
Not even Alice talks. Oh man.
I got to tell you, one of my all-time favorite bands that ever played with, because it was really a musical band, and it was just, I mean, the Bob Ezrin stuff was so great to play, and one of the hardest gigs. People don't realize how hard that band works, and because there's really no breaks. I think you get a break during the drum solo, and that's it. And then after
which is no break for the drummer. So the drummer literally has no breaks at all. Yeah.
When people talk to me about it, goes, "Do you think I could do that gig?" I go, "No, I don't think so." There's a certain type of drummer that can do that gig.
Got to be a machine. You do have to be a machine.
And what's his name?
Glenn Sobel, Eric Singer.
Sobel.
Yeah, Glenn Sobel.
Sobel's a machine, man. He's great.
Oh
at that.
yeah.
All the guys were Eric and who's the other guy that was the fill-in guy from
Winston Watson? Did you play with Jimmy DeGrasso? Jimmy DeGrasso.
Yeah, DeGrasso.
Now let me ask you this: Did Alice at the end of School's Out? Did he used to throw you his hat?
He threw it. He didn't throw
top hat.
No, he threw it to Eric. He threw it to the drummer.
And okay, so he still has that a little bit of that tradition. Sometimes he'll put it on Nita's head, he'll put it on Strauss's head, or he'll throw it to Glenn, and Glenn will try and hit it with a stick. I wonder if that was.
No, Eric used to catch it with. He used to catch it with the stick.
Yeah, that's the thing. Then, that's what.
And then he threw me the cane. No, I threw him the cane. That's right. The cane. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you remember the lineups? Because the lineups that we toured together with Alice were, I think, was it Greg Smith on bass?
It was Greg Smith, who played amazing cards. He's an amazing card player. And I'm saying that jokingly. It was Eric Singer, you, me, Greg Smith, and Pete Friesen.
That's right. That was the Brutal Planet tour when we would dress up as space cops, right?
Yeah, it was demolition of the world type thing, Mad Max kind of shit. It was that.
I thought we were kind of more.
Remember, it was that. No, you're right. It was that black really tight stuff.
Pleather.
Eric would say, "You look like."
It was a lot of Magnus Walkers from serious clothing stuff.
That's right. Eric said, "You look like 5 pounds of sausage in a 2-pound bag."
Yeah, 10 pounds of sausage, packing 10 pounds of sausage in a 5-pound bag. That's classic Eric Singer for you. Doesn't matter if you're male or female, he'll give it to you. So, yeah, I mean, I felt we were like the Space Force before the Space Force was ever even
That's right. It was
an actual government agency.
And then the Dragontown one was the Army green.
And the Dragontown is when Alice started getting his chopsticks in his hair, and he started having samurai swords and all that kind of stuff. I love it. Look at that.
It was great. It was great.
Great visuals by Mr. Vic Chalfon, our producer. And if you are actually listening to us on the audio, we'd really appreciate it if you go over to Ryan Roxie Official on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, because video is where it's at, folks, because you get to be in the live chat, whether it's Facebook Live or whether it's YouTube Live. We are hanging out with Teddy Zig-Zag. How do I say your last name? Andreadis.
Andreadis.
Okay. It's the Joe Satriani thing. I never know to get where do you put the accent on it. So, so you started with the accordion. Then what got you out of New Jersey to get over to LA, or was it, because look at this. This is like a great picture of Teddy, like in some sort of Emerson, Lake and Palmer nightmare. Or,
dude, you know what? I can tell you right there. Put that picture back up there. Those the keyboard, the Poly 6, and that whole row right there, valuable, incredible. You can't even buy those anymore. I mean, they're incredibly expensive. You can even find them. There's my DX7. There's the Tangent there, that drum machine up on top, the CR8 by Roland, one of my first drum machines. Awesome drum machine. Again, can't find them.
Wow.
All that stuff you can't find.
I mean, all that stuff. I mean, that looks like a keyboard player's dream.
It was
right
fun,
there, right?
And I still have that bass, that the Vox Phantom 4. I still
Now,
have
was that now what got you out of Jersey, or from the East Coast over to California? What lured you to California?
A girl.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was really I thought I was, and she was living in California. She goes, you should come out here. There's a lot of bands that could use a guy like you out here. So I went, really? Okay. So I packed up my van, my B3 and all my gear, and drove out in 3 days, 3.5 days. When I got here, my girlfriend was dating somebody else.
Oh my God.
So living in Venice. And actually, when I first moved to California, I was living in Newport Beach, and I thought that all of California was like this. I said, this is great. This is great. And then I moved to Huntington Park and started playing with this Chicano band and living on the guy's couch. I'm going, oh, this is not like Newport Beach at all.
At all.
No.
You have to understand, folks, Teddy, and now that you say it, it makes perfect sense. You've always been the guy with the van.
Yeah.
Which is a blessing or it's a curse for you, because every single one of your buddies has probably asked you to help move.
Yeah.
And hey man, can you help me pick up this stuff?
Yeah, you're right. And I didn't mind. I got the room. It's when, hey, can I just leave it in your van till I come back to town in 2 weeks? I got Johnny's stuff back here now, all the Johnny stuff, because he's living in Sweden. I got all the Johnny stuff, and I've got my nephew who was there you go. Look at that. Oh, the 25, man. Wow. Look at that. Look at that hairdo, man.
So
Jesus.
you move out to California, for the ultimate things, girls and rock and roll and just playing music. And I remember seeing some pictures at your house, some older pictures, and it was like, I think it was called a band that had like a sailor name. It had like it had sort of a seaman vibe.
That's Liquid. That's Liquid Blue.
That's Liquid Blue.
That's Liquid Blue, and I was in a band called Popeye.
There you go. I knew it had some sort of sailor-esque vibe. And was it like a funk band? And was that one of your earlier bands? It was that Top 40? And was that a California thing?
Yeah, and we played the Red Onion Circuit, which was a Mexican restaurant entertainment venue, and they were all over West Covina, Marina del Rey, Redondo Beach. And when I moved out there, that was the band that I auditioned for. And my audition song was "Breaking Up Is Hard to Do" by Neil Sedaka. And I got the gig, and was with them for 8 or 9 years until I had enough. But it was fun. It was great. I mean, you talk about getting your chops up. It was 6 nights a week for 4 sets a night. Living high off the hog, boy. Wow. Yeah.
For people that don't know the Red Onion, that was a bit of a scene. Oh yeah. Yeah. Man. And it was free food, right? Because you could have like a happy hour, free food. And it was like, that's where every sort of poor musician like myself would go to watch your band, who was like, it was
typical Southern California club, and you had to play the playlist of that day, your specific songs you had to play. And check this out, they had a thing where there would be a red light back in the DJ booth, that if the red light, it was a red siren light, if that came on, that meant that the fire marshal was entering the building, and you had to play a song that got everybody on the dance floor so the club would look not full.
Yeah. Okay. So it wouldn't look like everybody was sitting in the chairs, and it was look a little bit more spread out. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. Pull a little bit of a flim flam on them.
Yeah. A little bit of a flim flam.
There was some sort of payola going on. But see, now, do you have a picture of Popeye? Now, Vic, did you give Vic a picture of Popeye? Oh my God, because that is a classic photo. And honestly,
You know,
you still have the same amazing hair look, the same amazing hairline, but it's just, it's a great band. So don't worry about it. I mean, cause I don't think those are the ones that you can even find on the internet. I don't even know why I remember it so well.
Oh, well, that's not Popeye. That's the Invaders. You know,
All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
I want to talk about how you ended up going from this Red Onion top 40 scene to basically catching a very cool break with playing with an artist like Carole King.
Carole King was the first. Yeah, I was I quit to do my own thing, and I had an original band, and we play around. That was and that's Carole's band. But a bunch of the people that are in that photo were in my original band. They're Danny Pelfrey, the guy in the leather jacket, who was wearing my leather jacket, by the way, on the end there. It's Jerry Angel.
Always borrowed clothes for the photo shoot, right?
Right, from the Blasters, and that's Sherry Goff and Carol's daughter next to him, as Bree Howard on the other side hugging. I can't remember his name. But great band. That band recorded the album live in Connecticut, which you can get on DVD and record. So, but that was my first.
Which all your best live albums come from Connecticut.
And you know what? On that record, I actually sing one of Carole's songs. She lets me sing one of her songs, kind of with her, and it's "Go Away, Little Girl," the Donny Osmond hit that she wrote for him. And then from there,
I remembered that Donny Osmond song.
Yeah, "Go Away, Little Girl." Yeah, I sang that in the show. There's this hulk of a guy. Go away, little girl. Go away, little girl. So, and then from there,
it actually would be a really good song in 2021 because of all the other. It would be the right messaging right now for 2021. You know,
a lot of
just go away. That's the best thing. just freaking go away.
But that was the stepping stone to the Guns gig. Believe it or not, it's hard to believe that the crew guys worked for Carole. These crew guys, a couple of Mayhew guys worked for Carole, and they go, "Well, we're doing this."
Bob and Tom.
Yeah,
Bob and Tom.
I think
Mayhew?
it was definitely McBob. And I think Tom was kind of hanging around, but it was definitely Tom came in later, but it was definitely Mike Mayhew. Definitely Mike Mayhew. And Mike Mayhew was the guy that actually suggested my name to Slash. So, wow. I mean, look at
wow.
That son of a bitch used to sleep on my couch all the time. That's in yeah, in the old days.
That's how you get the gig.
That's
how you get the gig,
old
right?
days, man. So, the old days were with Slash were really a lot of fun. He was all those guys were really great to me. You know, I really appreciate everything they did. So, but yeah, it came from the Carole gig. He came to see us play at the Roxie with BB Chung King. We were playing. And he brings Slash down, and I'll never forget it. It was Slash and Duff were standing by the drum riser on stage with Renee and Linda at the time, I believe it was Slash's wife.
Yeah, Slash's wife, Renee. Yeah.
Yeah, and they came to see me play, and he goes, "Yeah, this guy's good." Okay, and then when they found out I also played harmonica, they're, "Oh, this will be great because we can do Bad Obsession." He sings, he does all this other stuff. So. Then eventually I ended up helping them out with the horn section. There you go. There's good old Duff. He looks great, don't he? That was at a rock camp. He did a rock camp, a rock and roll fantasy camp.
You're doing those now, yeah. You are like one of the bigger, like sort of.
I'm the one with the most seniority.
A mentor.
I was the one with the most
one
seniority.
Of the biggest mentors of that.
Yeah. I've been doing them since 2005. And everybody that's come through that camp, I've worked with Todd Rundgren, Steven Tyler, Sammy Hagar. Yeah, there you go. There's a lot of them, man.
And all people that you've kind of, have some sort of association with,
Yeah.
with one band or another. Because,
Yeah.
you're going from Carole King to Gn'R, and then that sort of slides into the Alice Cooper gig.
Right.
Which,
right.
and we can talk about Alice and between that time, Snake Pit as well. But we can talk about that in just a little bit for reasons that I have no idea why. But we'll just talk about that a little bit later.
Do you remember when you guys were doing Snake Pit and I was working on Slash's house?
Well, we could talk about, I want to talk about all that stuff in a little while, because I think that deserves maybe a little bit more, maybe bring in the experts for something like that, because I want to get on to the fact that it wasn't just these huge names like Chuck Berry, Bo Diddley, and Carole King that we've brushed upon. Then you start working and you get into this A-list starting to play with.
Yeah.
And one of them is Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
And to this day, you're in a band with Billy Bob Thornton, right?
Yeah.
And I know he doesn't like to talk about the fact that he's an actor. I know it's all musicians. When you do an interview with Billy Bob, you only talk about music, but he is a hell of an actor as well.
I get it. I get it. There's that stigma that follows actors, but he's a legit. I mean, he was a drummer before he was an actor, and you have to really be around him to realize, man, this guy really knows a lot about music. He knows. He's an encyclopedia when it comes to knowing things, and they write good songs, man. I mean, but I also played with Bruce Willis. Before I was playing I did Bruce Willis and Peter Stormare.
That's right, Peter Stormare.
Right.
Yeah, Swedish. There it is. One of Sweden's biggest actors, biggest exports, of course, man, from Fargo, and as well as so many other movies right now. But John
Stamos played with that band.
You played with him as well
in Full House. Yeah,
there it is.
There you go.
We are with keyboardist to the stars, Teddy Zig-Zag. Here we are.
That stuff is still stored back in the garage. Crap is still back there.
You played with another actor as well, Gilby Clarke. You did. He's an actor. He's a rock star supernova, baby.
You know what's funny? I played with everybody that was out of Guns at the time. Slash, Duff, Gilby, Matt. I actually did. No, I actually did. You know what? I did the opening of the Hard Rock Hotel with Izzy. Now that I think of it, when the Hard Rock Hotel opened up, they did a big Who's Who concert, and I was in
Amazing.
I was in the house band. Yeah, I was in the house band.
Vic, run a clip of that right now. Do you have a clip of that show with the Hard Rock Cafe with the Izzy and? No, he doesn't have.
Katie Lang was in it. Nikki Sixx, Billy Idol. It was me, Matt, Duff, Steve Stevens, and Gilby, I believe it was. We're the house band.
What about the actors, though? What about the actors? So all of this leads us up to pretty much where you are today.
What am I doing here now?
In the current 2 days. Well, I mean, 2020's kind of screwed us for that, but you do have Boxmasters do have dates, don't they, for 2021? Sort of on paper.
On paper, yeah. And I'm also playing with Walter, and Walter has dates. But again, what a lot of these bands are doing is there's Walter. That's down at the what is it called? The one in San Diego, the Coach House.
The Coach House, or no, the boardwalk or the border room. I know what you said. I know that club. I think I played there with Gilby before.
Yeah, you have. But what it's a smart thing to do is they're booking the gigs now, and if they get canceled, at least they were on the books to have first choice of the gig.
Crack at it.
Because once bands start working again, it's gonna be hard to get. There's Billy. That was Vegas with Brady Blades playing drums.
I love Brady Blade. He's another guy that is from lives in Sweden. So there's a lot of connections to talk about. There's a lot of things to talk about as far as concentrating on the bands that we've played together, and whether it was Slash's Snake Pit, whether it was Glam Nation, or was it the almighty Alice Cooper? Oh my God. There's some really funny photos right there. That's if nobody recognizes, that's a in the Trenches podcast alumni Calico Cooper right there in the middle of the shot. And I think there's Bobo right behind you.
It is.
And that would be Dr. Midnight.
Oh my God.
Dr. Midnight, Bobo, and yours truly. I think I dressed up as a rollerball queen right there. But that was Glam Nation. That's one of the bands I want to talk about in part 2. But right now, we're going to come back with Let the People Speak. And this, Teddy, is kind of good for you because you love people. I know that. And we're going to talk about some questions, have some questions from that actual fans of yours and people that responded to my Instagram story have for you. So we're going to come back to that with part 2. But right now we have we have to do these.
I thought we were going to a commercial break or something.
We are going to a commercial break. Don't worry.
Oh.
It's coming right now because this is our brand new commercial for a lot of people ask me what the amp I'm using and my amp setup and my guitar setup. Well, guess what? We had some good news from our friends at Hughes and Gn'R. Nice announcement that's happening this week and next week. Vic, do you want to run that commercial? And we'll start with part 2 of In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie. Come on.
Hello, Ryan Roxie here. And I get a lot of questions lately regarding the current guitar amp setup that I'm using. Well, here's the answer. It's the Hughes and Gn'R Black Spirit 200 floor model. Because it's roughly the same size as a compact pedal board, it can fit on any stage or desktop easily. But don't let the size fool you. Inside it's packed with a 200-watt power amp, a ton of presets and programming options, built-in Redbox Direct technology, plus all the built-in effects you'd want. And the secret behind the tone? Well, that's the Bionic Spirit Tone Generator, which is fully programmable on the amp by using its built-in Bluetooth to connect to the app, which works seamlessly with both iPad and Android devices. But probably the best thing about the Black Spirit 200 is that it's easy to use. With its user-friendly setup, I managed to get a great tone going within just a couple of minutes of plugging in. If you're looking for that perfect, compact, all-around amp that covers you in the studio, on the stage, and even live streaming, this is the one. Check out the links for the Hughes and Gn'R Black Spirit below or in the description, and let's get rolling. Speaking of rolling, on with the show.
Wow, that was a segue. We got the commercial in, huh? Production, right?
That's great. That nice box, man. That's a cool little box, man.
I will be talking more about that and my cooperation with the good people over at Hughes and Gn'R in the coming weeks, folks. Of course, if you're wanting to start your guitar journey, you've got the System 12. If you want to start your keyboard journey, this is the perfect place to start it because we have Teddy Zig-Zag with us today as our guest on In the Trenches. You can start it off with the accordion. And you can either keep with it like Weird Al did, or you can like venture off into piano and keyboards. And wow, I mean, all of this could be yours. Look at this. You could become this if you start your keyboard journey.
That's the coat. That's the coat. That's the coat I was talking about.
Oh my God.
That's the
was
coat.
That Lisa next to you?
No, that's a twins. It was a band called Mrs. Robinson.
Twins. All right, cool.
Identical twins. Yeah.
What do you actually identify most as? And I'm not talking about your sexuality. I'm talking about as an accordionist, as a keyboardist, as a pianist, as a blues man, or is it
I think of myself as an organist, B3 organist. You know, rock blues organist. Yeah, that's what I love to play. I mean, I love playing piano. Though, don't get me wrong, but B3 is my thing. As you know, my garage is full of them. There you go, just grand piano. That's Boxmasters. That's at A&M Studios. That piano, by the way, is I believe the one that Carole King may have I think recorded part of Tapestry.
Wow.
I think that's the one. That's Studio B.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the big room.
I'll take your word for it. I'll completely take your word for it. You know,
I know that it was either that or it was that guy. Oh shit!
You know that guy. It's all good.
Piano
you know
guy.
what?
Yeah. Anyway,
I've got the script. You don't have the script. You only have the memory. And right now, that's why I try to get all of us on the podcast, while we still have our memories to tell these amazing, inspiring stories.
Yeah.
And
some of those pictures I've never seen before. So,
really?
Yeah.
Well, Vic's pretty good at getting a lot of those pictures out there and diving the internet and putting up with my little rants in between because my internet over here in Sweden sucks today.
Are you in Stockholm? Is that where you are?
I am in Stockholm right now. Yes, I am.
Wow.
And well, actually, I should say undisclosed. From now on, anybody that you see on the screen is from an undisclosed location. Isn't that good? All right. So, because I've talked a lot about, the big names, the Carole Kings of the world, the Chuck Berrys of the world, the Gn'Rs and the Alice Cooper, but we played in a few bands of our own. You actually played a lot of keyboards for the Peace, Love, and Armageddon Roxy 77 album.
Right.
We did a lot of shows.
I did your California Dream, and no, what was the last tune I did for you?
You play on my last solo album. There's the album that you played a lot of keyboards on, as well as organ, but you also played piano on California Man, which is on my Imagine Your Reality album, and you did a great, amazing job of playing the keys. And it was one of those sessions where you were in California, I was in Sweden. You sent it over. It sounded amazing and stuff. So I thank you very much. But one of those bands that I remember the musicianship being really, really important was Snake Pit. And for those of you that don't know that, did you play on the first Snake Pit record? It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I believe I did. Yeah. I believe I did because I was hanging around. The studio when that was being. Yeah, no, it was the second album I didn't play on. I think. There was only 2 albums, right? 2 albums.
Yeah, you definitely played on it. You played on Ain't Life Grand. You definitely played parts on Ain't Life Grand. I'm getting visual confirmation that you have played on that. But here's the thing, you were hanging around the studio, which happened to be Slash's house, which we happen to call Hotel California. Right. And there was a bunch of us hanging out there, and the really weird things, folks, that you don't realize is that same house was purchased by Billy Bob Thornton later in years. So then we all knew the whole floor plan of the house. So when I did my gig with Billy Bob Thornton, we did that charity gig. I think it was an Alice Cooper.
That's right. It was what do you call it? That was a
Christmas. It was a Christmas pudding.
Yes, Christmas pudding.
And you know what? My memory is a little bit foggy and hazy of it. But if I could just call on someone that could help me remember those Snake Pit times, especially that gig that we played with Billy Bob, and of course other times that we played with I think it was Blues Ball. I think that's where I got my start in the Slash's sort of Snake Pit organization. It was one of those NAMM shows. But my memory's a little foggy. If I could just concentrate really quickly and ask someone to come in, if only Johnny Griparik could show up now, and that would be there. You go.
Hey guys.
Hey. Wow. Would you please welcome to the podcast Johnny Griparik? Bass player extraordinaire, plays with Teddy in a multitude of bands, and also one of those bands that we all three played together in was Slash's Snake Pit version 2.0. Hello, Johnny.
Wow. Hey guys. Wow. I was part of this, yet I'm completely mesmerized by all the stories.
But he looks great with the beard, doesn't he?
See what happens when you got nowhere to go?
You have such good beard grooming. I mean, I'm impressed with the grooming.
Oh, he's good at that, yeah.
I don't take it lightly. I got to do something.
Johnny, Johnny is the bass player that I've always used for as long as when you first came to the United States, right?
Well, I was trying today, when I was doing my little walk, trying to remember how many different bands we've been in. You and me, Pit.
Yeah.
It's
really amazing. Yeah.
How many different bands and how many different haircuts?
Quite a few, my friend.
Yeah.
Quite a few facial hair, transformations as well. But
hey, Johnny, you should
Ryan,
play him one of the play him the sample. Play him the sample from the Spud.
Which one?
Hey, where are the white women at? Hey, where are the white women at?
That's so great. Ryan, that era of baked potato was the first of that whole jam scene, and you guys were you were all part of it. All you and Eric. Nobody was
Gilby
doing the
would
jam.
come down.
Yeah. Slash.
And now,
Steve
was as part of the Screaming Cocktail Hour. Was that Johnny on bass with the Screaming Cocktail Hour?
Yeah. And Dave Raven on drums and Alan BB.
Yeah,
BB Chung King.
Oh man, BB was great. Man,
and that blues ball came out of the baked potato.
So anyhow,
always coming.
I want to hear a little
ball.
bit about these.
Keep going. Sorry.
What happened?
I've been knowing what happened.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe Johnny's going out a little bit. You know what? This is 2021, and we have to deal with the confines of internet and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully, it's all good right now. What band right now are you guys currently touring in and jamming with?
Right now, we're playing with Walter Trout. And we were in Boca Raton, Florida, in March of last year.
Yeah, on our way to Australia.
Right, and we had three cruise ship blues festivals, and we had the Byron Bay Blues Festival. Everything got canceled. So
we had about 150 shows booked.
Yeah,
for the year that all
went away.
Yeah.
So. Now we're all just waiting. So, but we Zoom the band like once a month or so. We Zoom with Walter, who's living in Denmark.
Undisclosed location.
Yeah, undisclosed location. That's right. But we Zoom, we stay in touch that way. But it was all kinds of work that went away, unfortunately. But that's another fun band because that's just a 4-piece. So we all get a chance to play a lot.
A lot, yeah.
But
Ryan, do you remember from the Snake Pit studio when we were making the record, in between takes, when Teddy would rearrange Slash's dinosaurs up in the media room? and Slash would go up to make himself a drink, and you hear, Teddy!
You have to understand, folks, Slash's house wasn't just a house. It was a complete world. It was like Yes. It was a little bit like Jurassic World. There was a full basketball court that we had out there. We eventually ended up getting a ping pong table because and me and Adam Day were playing ping pong a lot. There was Guinness and a Jägermeister on tap, I believe, at that point in the bar. And
at the bar,
we definitely took advantage of it during those days.
Yeah.
And who was late to every rehearsal? Who was the only person that was always late? Because we would show up on
the guy
time.
that had the shortest distance to travel.
Right. hey man, are you coming down here at all? Are you coming down here? Could you walk down one flight of stairs, please, and come down and rehearse?
We'd have hours and hours of just good times in that house. And downstairs was the Snake Pit. And my memories a lot of Teddy, because Teddy would jam with us, every so often. You come in and we'd have a big full-on jam. But I remember a lot of times you'd be upstairs with a bucket of spackle.
Yeah. When I wasn't working, I was doing like construction stuff. So Slash just asked, he goes, "Well, I could use some work here." I said, all right, I'm not doing nothing, But it was pretty unfortunate for me because I'd be, and you guys would be rocking up downstairs. I'm like, God damn it, God damn it, you know. But yeah.
But there's 2 Stevie Wonder songs, though. I'll tell you this right now. And I thought about this last week, Johnny. I don't know if you have a copy of those songs, but there's 2 Stevie Wonder covers that we did, and I think that we actually performed them at an Screaming Cocktail Hour night at the Baked Potato.
Yeah, we did.
I think it was Living for the City. And what was the other one?
Superstitious. Yeah. And then we did Papa Was a Rolling Stone, an amazing version, not a Stevie Wonder song, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
Are we having...
End scene.
I don't know if anyone's talking now. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's talking now because my internet's so screwed. I feel like unfortunately, I'm in that position. I'm in that weird position for whatever reason. It's like it's not working, and I'm looking at the private chat from Vic, and I'm starting to get like, you know, Vic's like giving me all these hand signals, but I guess it sounds okay and it looks okay from where you are.
Yeah,
does it look okay and sound okay?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So, are you guys close to each other?
No, we're in an undisclosed location.
Johnny's in an undisclosed area. I don't know where Johnny.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought.
Well,
So anyhow, I felt
why his internet's not going out. I don't know.
Mine?
I don't even.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, because undisclosed locations always are better. I have no idea why mine is acting up right now. Yeah. Do I go out any of these times? Am I?
No,
you're
not going out at all.
No.
Okay. Great. Well, then.
Let's keep it rolling here.
Just my computer. I'm definitely keeping it rolling because now we're moving on with Let the People Speak. Come on, Vic, hit that animation. Even though you've hit it once already, hit it one more time. Come on. And I figured Johnny could hang around for this.
Absolutely.
It's just animation, man. You got to up the production value of it.
But you know what?
So
I want to just tell people, in case you guys, I missed the first part of it, is the amazing part about Teddy is, I was thinking, you know, having been in so many bands with this man, how he's always manages to fit whatever style of music, like that's all he does without ever losing who he is. And I've never seen anybody so good at it. And it's really impressive.
Wow. I'm touched. Thank you, man. That's really nice of you. Thank you.
I mean, whether it's a blues gig like Walter or a country gig or whatever you want to call it, Americana gig with Billy Bob that we've done, or Don Felder or Slash, you look like that's all you do. But it never feels cheap or like you're selling out. I don't know how you manage doing that, because most of us are only comfortable in 1 or 2 arenas at the most.
Thank you. That's nice. I appreciate that. That's really great.
Yeah.
We you know, it's I just do what I do, I guess, you know. One of the great things I gotta say is about this group of guys, when we all would get together, what we're doing here, this kind of like jabbing and laughing, that's how we played. You know, it was always that way. It's like someone would go over to someone while we're playing and make some kind of remark about somebody in the band, and so, you know, and it would always be a jam thing, and it was always a fun. There was never attitude or anything. It was always a fun, comfortable thing to be around. Because
I mean, the last time the 3 of us were in the room, or we were actually in a car, we're on the way to Rava, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Remember, Ryan, you drove with us to Rava.
The 3 of us,
to play that Christmas gig, wasn't it?
Can't remember. No, it wasn't a Christmas gig.
It was a gig at Rava. There you go.
Yeah.
That was the Rava gig. That was not that long ago. Yeah.
That's it.
Look at that.
That was a great one. Big shout out to Stefan Adika and his Coffee Talk and his whole Coffee Talk empire for getting that gig together. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I do want to move on to, there it is. There's a nice that was another sort of Thursday night jam sort of picture as well. I do want to get to let the people speak, because these are actual questions from actual fans of you that want to know some stuff. Our first question is from @TheRealMuddyG. And you know what, Johnny, if the question applies for you, please chime in. This one might not, though, because you also play harmonica.
Yeah.
When did you pick up the harmonica and why?
Well, that's the kind of player I am. It's like I get, I see something on TV, or I see somebody, I go, hey, I'd like to learn how to do that. So I would just pick it up. There wasn't a specific time that said, oh, I got to play harmonica. I just sort of pick it up because I get bored. I mean, I pick up a trumpet. I've been picking up trombone. But it's one of the things that I took to pretty easily. And the more I realized, wow, this is a really great, you can really do a lot with a harmonica, with amping, with certain mics. And I realized that, wow, this is another instrument that comes along with Teddy besides the keyboards. Ted plays, he plays guitar, he plays a little bit of bass, he plays harmonica. And it was just something I picked up, I think, around in high school, maybe. So, I do, I do what I do.
All right.
Walter,
I love it.
A little bit,
I wish I could have heard a single word of that.
It was something else, Ron.
Yeah.
I'm having one of those podcast days, guys, where the internet is just shitting on me. Like I'm getting Michael DeBard. And for those of you that don't know what the getting Michael DeBard is all about, I can't hear you, bro. That's my whole world right now. I can't hear you, bro. So what I'm going to do is move on to another question. And while you answer that question, I am going to actually sign out and sign back in, because this one comes from Sticks and Stones Band Canada. And so this is all. We know why the name Zig-Zag, although I have no idea why the name Zig-Zag, but who gave you that name? So please tell the story of why your name is Teddy Zig-Zag.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And I'll be right back.
All right. Well, it comes from the Guns N' Roses era. And when I auditioned for the band, I kind of looked. I had a lot longer hair, and I kind of looked like the guy on the Zig-Zag pack. And Axel came to one of the rehearsals, and somebody said, he asked, "Who's the new guy?" And I might have been, it may have been Tom or Mike Mayhew, I think, that said, it's that guy over there, the guy that looks like Zig-Zag. And it just stuck. And then every time he would introduce me, it became Teddy Zig-Zag, Big Bag, the Greek. It just because that's how I saw it. That he just remembered that somebody said that to him, and he would introduce me. And when you introduce somebody with that name in front of that many people, they remember it. And I don't even smoke weed. That's the but that's how it came about. So basically, how about that? So, can you still hear us, Ryan?
Is that good? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's how it came about. I mean, it came from that era, and it just stuck. John McDaniel. Any rate, so what else you want to ask? What else?
Okay, thank you very much. That's good, because right now I'm sort of like Helen Keller. I'm like seriously Helen Keller right now. I'm like sort of trying to get through this and as best as I can with the best attitude. Yeah, Vic's trying to calm me down in the private chat, folks, but it's doing no work. It's doing no good, because I'm freaking out, folks. When you sort of trying to do an interview and you don't have any idea what the other person's talking about right now, because the internet is so jumbled and like that. But I'm going to move on to one more question, and I hope it was a good answer about your harmonica playing. I really do. But this is a good one for both of you. It comes from @Kathy Grant. And Kathy Grant's a longtime listener, huge supporter right now, and then we appreciate that. What do you miss most about not playing gigs? And have either of you come up with any new talents or hobbies? Obviously, Johnny G and Johnny Griparik has come up with some beard maintenance talent. That's your new sort of
no. Johnny should.
Talent.
Johnny should.
What other things have you been getting into, and what do you miss about the gigs?
Well, Johnny, you got something really good going on.
Yeah, I've with a partner. I'm a recovering alcoholic addict, and I've started a company called Unchained Brands. That the aim is twofold, I guess, is to raise revenue for music cares, to help musicians or people in the music industry, especially. That battle addiction, but also in these times that might need help with rent or anything, because music cares saved my life, along with many friends that helped me. But so that's very dear to my heart because I want to give back. And also we're trying to build a platform that provides resources and info for people that are struggling or know somebody that's struggling. That's especially in our business, where our problems are very specific to what we do, and I know when I was trying to get clean, and I couldn't really find any real info about it. So that's what I've been doing, and
it's a great company, and the product.
Yeah, and it's a lot of friends. Teddy's one of the people that has generously. Been photographed with a chain that we sell products to raise revenue. But check us out at unchainedbrands.com, and please help out if you can. See what I missed most about not playing gigs. Obviously, hanging out with my friends, hanging out with Teddy, meeting people, and oddly enough, just being on the road. I didn't realize how hooked I was on the road. 30 years of traveling. It's strange how that gets to you.
There you go.
And there's Teddy.
And there it is.
Yeah, and there's Slash. There's your bandmate.
It's Nina.
Yeah.
It's Alvino.
Yeah. So
it's a great product.
That's what I've been doing, and that's what I miss the most. Of course, miss the fans and the playing part. Just the playing, right. I miss.
Yeah. We're in a business that is, people, involves large groups of people, and that's the hard part about not playing is like you miss. I so miss that. There's no better feeling than an audience applause after you're done with a song, or. Playing it, Ryan, as well as we all know. And the problem is how do we start back up? Is it going to be, how different is it going to be when we start back up?
Sure.
That's the thing. We want to start back up, but we also don't want to kill ourselves. You got to keep yourself healthy. And what do you do? Do we not do any more meet and greets? Or do those go away? How do you do a meet and greet?
Sure.
So it's hard. Right. It's being on the road, for all of its ups and downs is definitely something that I miss.
Yeah.
What do we can only and the drag is we don't even know.
I hope you guys can hear me.
I can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh man.
We can hear you.
I feel so bad for you guys, man. I really have to apologize about this episode for me because the Wi-Fi has royally screwed me. You're going to be hearing from my apartment manager is going to definitely figure out what the deal is, the Wi-Fi today. Perhaps up here in Stockholm, they're having some sort of lockdown on Wi-Fi. So, we never had this problem before with our things, but you know what? I appreciate Johnny Griparik and Teddy Zig-Zag both coming on the
Is it over?
podcast.
Are we done?
If it's okay, and if Vic gives me the thumbs up, because I'm totally going by Braille right now, I will sort of start to wrap things up, because I would like to sit here and talk all night, but the problem is, if I can't hear what you're saying, it's harder for me to actually continue with the questions, obviously. So I think I want to move to a part of the show where it's heading out to the highway. And I both, because of that inspiring talk that Johnny just gave about, his recovery and what he's doing and all the inspiring things that he's put into action with sort of helping his cause and everything with his company. I want you guys both to sort of give some parting words of like, do you have an inspiring quote or it's something that someone's told you that you can go by, that you live by, and that you can pass on to our listeners so that they can sort of be inspired during these very tumultuous times?
Well, all I can do is just say, let's all love one another. Right now there's too much division in the world, and it's just not fun. I mean, I can't even watch TV anymore because I get so bummed out. So we just need to really come together and love one another, and you know what? Every day above ground is a day to be cherished. That's for sure. And love the people that love the ones you're with, man. That's for sure. Love the ones you're with, because it's just that we're at a state right now that it's not good, and we need to fix it. So that's my piece. Johnny?
Well, I second that, Ted, for sure. A quote that's helped me a lot. It's actually a Nelson Mandela quote. I know, right? It seems impossible until it happens. So whatever your endeavors are, just stay the course, and it will get better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just stay the course. You're right. See, you got a quote from Mandela, dude. I got to start reading again. I miss you, man. I miss
you too, my friend.
This is the only way we can see each other, unfortunately.
Yeah. But when Ryan asked me, "Hey, would you come on as a special guest?"
Oh, it's awesome.
There's
totally
nobody
surprised.
else I would rather do it for than you, Ted.
Thank you, man. I totally surprised too. I didn't know you were coming on I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm going, who could it be? I thought maybe Eric Dover, or Eric Singer, but I said, Johnny, all right, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've certainly been, like our road manager, Andrew Alt, always says, you guys should have a radio show. Well,
Right,
here we
right.
go.
You're right. Yeah,
So did we lose Ryan? Is that it?
I don't know what's going on. What's going on in Sweden? Is he back? Can he hear us?
Are you back, Ryan?
Oh, he can't hear us.
Out here because I feel so horrible for
Vic, what's going on, Vic?
He's having
Take over.
I keep trying to write him and trying to get him to see what's going on, but I think he just kind of wants to wrap things up with you guys and apologize for the horrible feed that he's got going on.
Well, maybe we could do another show at some point.
Absolutely. Well, hell, you and I can do the show. You know that last night.
Hey, Johnny, this gentleman here, Vic, is like the guy working behind the scenes, but he did a sound check with
Ted,
me.
we already had it.
Yeah, Johnny and I.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. I was on the phone with him last night for an hour and a half, and we were just supposed to do a sound check. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Hey, really, you've got great stories, and I feel just horrible that Ryan couldn't really hear you very well and couldn't get it out of you. So we're going to have to definitely do a part 2 and do this again.
Okay, sure.
There's a lot of stories from Teddy. He's been doing this for a long time.
Well, I want to be sure to get you guys your plugs, and I hope that these are right. So I'm going to start with you, Johnny. And these are your social media?
Sure. And also if you could add the unchainedbrands.com.
Okay. Yeah, definitely check that out. That seems. So what all does Unchained Brands do?
Well, like I said, we just opened up. We're selling products to raise revenue for music hairs.
Okay.
That's how it started. And then it's morphed into building a community to help out, people like myself or people that are struggling with anything, but particularly music related.
Okay.
So we have like 4 quadrants that we work off: recovery, health and wellness, business, and the food, diet, because that's a big one for me. So it's based upon my story, how I recovered.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. That's great. Well, Teddy, I'll get you back on here and
Yes.
Be sure we cover your plugs as well. So
my wife hasn't fixed the
so your
fixed
Twitter's
the
going to
Twitter
that?
yet. She'll do that today when she's off of work. But it's the Teddy. That's right. All good.
So Teddy Zig-Zag at Instagram and the Teddy Zig-Zag on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Teddy. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Be sure you put in front of it.
Yeah. Did you? Hey, Johnny. Somebody stole my Teddy Zig-Zag.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Really?
Some chick in England stole Teddy Zig-Zag, so I had to change it to the Teddy Zig-Zag.
The real Teddy Zig-Zag.
Well, at least it's just. I think the real Teddy Zig-Zag's even. Well, I don't know. We didn't even check, but she put the in front of it, and it works fine.
Yeah.
I think she's just Ted Zig-Zag. But
yeah,
I didn't mind visiting her site. It was okay.
Yeah. I told my wife, that's fine. Let's kind of leave it. Yeah.
Well, let's see if Ryan he's back. Can you hear us at all?
I love you guys, but unfortunately, I can't hear a single word.
He's still out.
Yeah, no, it's you guys. It sounds like I've had a whole podcast with C-3PO and R2-D2 and Michael DeBars, of course. So, for me, this is one of those moments where, because we're a team and I try not to get all freaked out, Vic, you're going to have to take it on home and be our co-host and take us on back, because right now it's been an amazing talk for at least 40 minutes I got to have, and I got to spend with Johnny Griparik and Teddy Zig-Zag. But then it turned into basically a really creepy version of the Westworld movie where I felt I was interviewing androids and I couldn't understand their language. So, folks, I've been Ryan Roxie from a very internet-riddled Stockholm, Sweden. And you know what, Mr. Vic, you're going to close it out if that's okay with you, because right now I don't want to talk over anybody. I just want everyone to sort of get their plugs in, get the things that they are doing out, get the inspiration out there. And hopefully next week we will have fixed the internet in Sweden. But Mr. Vic, you take it on home if you can, from here on out.
Right.
And
see you, Ryan.
Thank you very much, guys. I'll just sit back and be a sort of a spectator.
Perfect. Well, we've definitely enjoyed having you guys on. I'm sorry that it's been like this. We'll make up for it, and we'll do another one in the future. And
it's been fun.
This was fun. This is great. Don't apologize.
But I don't like being on the screen. I'm supposed to be behind the scenes running this stuff. But I guess this is weird. But until next time, we'll see you guys. Enjoy the ride.
Okay. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Trenches with Ryan Roxie.